She was stood up and ready to leave, until a stranger walked over and said 5 words that changed everything. "Don't leave. You're the only one who came." Lisa sat in the corner of the coffee shop, her hands wrapped around a cup that had long gone cold. She checked her phone for what felt like the 100th time. Still nothing. No message, no call, no explanation. Just silence. It was 3:47 p.m. Her blind date was supposed to meet her at 3 now. She felt stupid. Really, truly stupid. Why had she agreed to this in the first place? Oh right, because her best friend wouldn't stop bugging her about it. "He's perfect for you," she'd said. "He's a teacher, loves dogs, enjoys hiking. You two will get along great." Well, apparently not great enough for him to actually show up. Lisa glanced around the cafe, wondering if anyone had noticed she'd been sitting alone for almost an hour. The barista behind the counter was busy with the espresso machine. A couple near the window were lost in their own conversation, laughing about something on their phone. And then there was a guy sitting 2 tables away working on his laptop. She hadn't paid much attention to him before, but now she noticed he kept looking up from his screen. Not in a creepy way, just aware. Like he knew exactly what was happening at her table. Lisa grabbed her purse and started putting on her jacket. This was ridiculous. She wasn't going to sit here feeling sorry for herself anymore. She'd go home, change into comfortable clothes, order some food, and forget this whole embarrassing afternoon ever happened. But as she stood up, something unexpected happened. The guy from the laptop table walked over. He had kind eyes and looked nervous, like he was doing something that took real courage. "Hey, I'm really sorry to bother you," he said, his voice gentle, "but I couldn't help noticing you've been waiting for someone." Lisa felt her cheeks burn. Great, so people had noticed. "Yeah, well, I was," she said, trying to sound casual. "But I think I got the message." The man hesitated for a second, then said something that completely caught her off guard. "Don't leave." "You're the only one who came." Lisa blinked. "What? I mean..." He ran a hand through his hair, clearly trying to find the right words. "What I'm trying to say is whoever stood you up is an idiot, and your afternoon shouldn't be completely ruined because of someone else's bad decision. Would you let me buy you a fresh coffee? No strings attached, I promise. Just so you can say something good came out of today." Lisa stared at him, unsure what to think. This was weird, right? Random guys didn't just approach women in coffee shops and offer to. What exactly was he offering? As if reading her mind, he held out his hand. Not to shake, exactly. More like an offering. "A choice, I'm Alex," he said. "And I know this is strange. Trust me, I've been sitting over there for the last 10 minutes trying to talk myself out of coming over here. But I saw your face when you kept checking your phone and I've been there. I know what it feels like to be let down. And I thought maybe we could both use some decent company right now." There was something about his honesty that made Lisa pause. He wasn't being smooth or trying to be charming. He was just being real. And somehow that made all the difference. She looked at his extended hand, then back at his face. He had a slight smile, hopeful but not pushy. Like he'd understand if she said no and walked away. But something made her stay. Lisa took off her jacket and sat back down. "Okay," she said, reaching out to shake his hand. "I'm Lisa, and yes, I could use a better cup of coffee." Alex's whole face lit up. "Great, what do you like?" "I should warn you, I'm kind of a coffee snob, so if you say you want a plain black coffee, I'm going to have to convince you to try something better." Lisa found herself smiling despite everything. "Surprise me." As Alex walked to the counter to order, Lisa sat back in her chair and wondered what she was doing. This wasn't like her. She didn't talk to strangers. She definitely didn't let random men buy her coffee. But something about this felt different. Maybe it was because she'd already hit rock bottom today. What did she have to lose? Alex came back with 2 cups and a small plate of cookies. "The barista said these just came out of the oven," he explained, setting everything down on the table. "I figured we earned a treat." "We?" Lisa raised an eyebrow. "Well, yeah," Alex said, sitting down across from her. "I've had a pretty terrible day too, if I'm being honest. I was sitting over there trying to convince myself that my problems weren't that bad. But then I saw you and realized we were probably in the same boat." "What happened?" Lisa asked, genuinely curious now. Alex took a sip of his coffee and sighed. "I had a big presentation today. Been working on it for 3 months. It was supposed to be this game-changing pitch for my company, and it got completely shut down. Not even a "we'll think about it" or "maybe later." Just a flat no. Ouch, Lisa said. That's rough. Yeah, Alex nodded. I've been sitting in this cafe for the past 2 hours trying to figure out what I did wrong, running through the whole presentation in my head, wondering if I should have said something different or shown different data. It's been driving me crazy. Is that why you came over? Lisa asked. To distract yourself? Alex thought about it for a moment. Maybe partly. But honestly, I saw someone else having a bad day, and I thought maybe we could have a less bad evening together. Does that make sense? It did make sense. More sense than Lisa wanted to admit. They talked for the next hour about everything and nothing. Alex told her about his job in tech, working on apps that help schools manage their resources better. Lisa told him about her work as a graphic designer, how she loved creating but hated the corporate politics that came with it. Have you ever thought about going freelance? Alex asked. All the time, Lisa admitted. But it's scary, you know? Giving up a steady paycheck, health insurance, all that security. Security is overrated, Alex said with a smile. I mean, look at me. I thought I had the perfect pitch, the perfect plan. Secure future, big promotion, everything lined up. And it all fell apart in one meeting. So what are you going to do now? Lisa asked. Honestly, I have no idea, Alex said. But sitting here talking to you, I'm starting to think that maybe the plan falling apart isn't the worst thing that could happen. Maybe it's just life telling me to find a better plan. Lisa looked at him thoughtfully. You're pretty optimistic for someone who just got rejected. And you're pretty willing to trust a stranger for someone who just got stood up. Alex countered with a grin. Lisa laughed. It was the first genuine laugh she'd had all day. Fair point. As the evening wore on, the cafe started to empty out. The couple by the window left. The barista began wiping down tables. But Lisa and Alex stayed, talking like they'd known each other for years instead of just a few hours. At one point, Alex's phone buzzed. He glanced at it and frowned slightly. Everything okay? Lisa asked. Yeah, it's just... Alex hesitated. My sister. She's asking if I'm still picking up my niece from soccer practice. He looked at his watch, which I completely forgot about. You should go, Lisa said, trying not to feel disappointed. I should, Alex agreed. But he didn't move. Instead, he looked at Lisa with an expression she couldn't quite read. Can I ask you something? Sure. Would you want to do this again? Not as a blind date or anything formal, just two people who had terrible days and found out they actually enjoyed talking to each other. Lisa felt her heart skip a beat. She'd been so busy enjoying the conversation that she hadn't thought about what came next. But now, faced with the possibility of seeing Alex again, she realized she definitely wanted to. I'd like that, she said. They exchanged numbers, and Alex promised to text her later. As he stood up to leave, he paused. Hey, Lisa? Yeah? I'm really glad you didn't leave when you were planning to. This ended up being the best part of my day. Lisa smiled. Mine too. After Alex left, Lisa sat in the cafe for a few more minutes, finishing her coffee. She thought about the day, how it had started with such disappointment and somehow ended with possibility. Her phone buzzed. It was a message from her friend, the one who'd set up the blind date. OMG, I'm so sorry. He texted me saying he couldn't make it. His ex showed up at his place causing drama. Are you okay? Lisa looked at the message and realized something. She wasn't upset anymore. In fact, she was grateful. If her blind date had shown up, she never would have met Alex. She never would have had this unexpectedly wonderful conversation with a stranger who wasn't really a stranger anymore. She typed back a quick reply. I'm more than okay. Thanks for setting it up. Her friend responded with a confused emoji, but Lisa just smiled. Some things were better explained in person. For now, she had a new number in her phone and the memory of someone saying, Don't leave, you're the only one who came. It wasn't the day she'd planned, but somehow it was exactly the day she needed. 3 days had passed since the coffee shop, and Lisa couldn't stop thinking about Alex. He'd texted her that same evening like he promised. Just a simple message. Made it to soccer practice with 2 minutes to spare. My niece says hi even though she doesn't know you yet. Hope you got home safe. They'd been texting back and forth ever since. Nothing heavy, just easy conversation. Funny observations about their days, random thoughts, the occasional meme. It felt natural, like talking to an old friend. But now, sitting at her desk at work, Lisa was staring at his latest message. So, I know a great taco place downtown. Any chance you're free Friday evening? Her coworker, Jennifer, rolled her chair over. Why are you smiling at your phone like that? I'm not smiling, Lisa said, still smiling. You absolutely are. Who is it? Wait, is this about that blind date you had? Technically, it's about the blind date I didn't have, Lisa corrected. She told Jennifer the whole story, about being stood up and about Alex approaching her table. Jennifer's eyes went wide. Wait, a random guy just walked up to you? And you didn't immediately think he was creepy? I know, Lisa said. It sounds weird when you say it like that. But he wasn't creepy at all. He was just nice, really genuinely nice. So are you going to say yes to the tacos? Lisa bit her lip. Should I? Girl, you've been grinning at your phone for 3 days straight. Of course you should say yes. Lisa took a deep breath and typed back, I love tacos. Friday works for me. His response came almost immediately. Perfect. Fair warning though, this place is casual. Like really casual. We're talking plastic chairs and paper plates. But the food is incredible. Sounds perfect, Lisa typed back. Friday couldn't come fast enough. Lisa changed her outfit 3 times before finally settling on jeans and a comfortable sweater. She didn't want to look like she was trying too hard, but she also didn't want to look like she wasn't trying at all. It was a delicate balance. The taco place was exactly as Alex described. Small, colorful, with plastic furniture and salsa music playing from a speaker in the corner. Alex was already there when she arrived, waving from a table near the window. You found it, he said, standing up to greet her. Your directions were good, Lisa said, sitting down across from him. So, full disclosure, Alex said, sliding a laminated menu across the table. Everything here is amazing. But the al pastor tacos are life-changing. I'm not exaggerating. Life-changing, Lisa laughed. That's a pretty bold claim. I stand by it, Alex said seriously. In fact, I'm so confident that if you don't think they're incredible, I'll buy your dinner tonight and admit I was wrong. Deal, Lisa said. They ordered, and while they waited for their food, they fell into easy conversation just like at the coffee shop. Alex told her about his niece's soccer game, how she'd scored her first goal and wouldn't stop talking about it. Lisa told him about a difficult client at work who kept asking for revisions without actually saying what they wanted changed. People who don't know what they want are the worst, Alex said. They just know they don't like what they have. Exactly, Lisa said. And then they act like you're the one being difficult when you ask for specific feedback. The food arrived, and Lisa took her first bite of the al pastor taco. Her eyes widened. Well? Alex asked, watching her expectantly. Okay, Lisa said after swallowing. You weren't lying. These are incredible. Alex grinned triumphantly. Told you. Life-changing. They ate and talked, and somewhere between the second and third taco, the conversation shifted to something more personal. Can I ask you something? Lisa said. And you can totally tell me if it's too personal. Go ahead, Alex said. What made you come over to my table that day? Really? I mean, you said you saw I was having a bad day, but there's got to be more to it than that. Alex was quiet for a moment, wiping his hands on a napkin. Honestly, I was sitting there feeling sorry for myself, thinking about how my presentation failed and how nothing was going the way I planned. And then I saw you and I recognized that same look on your face, that everything is falling apart look, and I thought, I don't know. I thought maybe we could both use a reminder that not everything is terrible. That's really thoughtful, Lisa said softly. Or really selfish, Alex countered with a slight smile, because talking to you made me feel better. So maybe I was just looking out for myself. I don't think that's selfish, Lisa said. I think that's just being human. We all need connection, especially on bad days. Alex nodded, his expression becoming more serious. Can I be honest about something? Of course. I almost didn't come over, Alex admitted. I sat there for like 10 minutes having this whole argument with myself. Part of me was saying, leave her alone, she doesn't want some random guy bothering her. But another part kept saying, what if she's sitting there feeling like nobody cares? What if one kind gesture could turn her whole day around? I'm glad you listened to that second part, Lisa said. Me too, Alex said, meeting her eyes. There was a moment of comfortable silence, then Alex's phone buzzed. He glanced at it and his expression changed slightly. Everything okay? Lisa asked. Yeah, it's just, Alex hesitated. My sister. She's asking if I can watch my niece tomorrow. Her regular babysitter canceled. That's nice that she can count on you, Lisa said. Alex looked uncomfortable. Lisa, before this goes any further, there's something I should tell you. Something important. Lisa felt her stomach tighten. Here it comes, she thought. He's married. Or moving across the country. Or has some huge issue. My niece isn't really my niece, Alex said carefully. I mean, she is, but not in the way you probably think. She's my daughter. Lisa blinked. Your daughter? Her name is Sophie. She's 6 years old. Her mom and I split up about 2 years ago. We share custody, but Sophie lives with me most of the time. Alex was talking faster now, like he needed to get it all out. I know that's a lot. I know most people aren't interested in dating someone who has a kid, and I completely understand if that changes things for you. I just thought you should know now rather than later. Lisa processed this information, watching Alex's nervous expression. He was genuinely worried about her reaction, she realized. Worried that this would be a deal breaker. Why did you tell your sister she was your niece? Lisa asked. Alex looked sheepish. I didn't exactly. When I was texting about picking her up from soccer, I just said my niece because, I don't know. It's easier sometimes. People make assumptions when you say you're a single dad, and I guess I wasn't ready to have that conversation yet. But you're ready now? Lisa asked. Yeah, Alex said, looking directly at her. Because I like you, Lisa. I've really enjoyed getting to know you these past few days, and I don't want to start something based on you not knowing a pretty major part of my life. Lisa took a sip of her water, thinking, a kid, he had a kid. That was big. That was really big. But she also thought about the past few days. The easy conversations, the genuine laughter, the way Alex made her feel heard and valued. She thought about him approaching her in the coffee shop, taking a chance on a stranger because he saw someone who needed kindness. Tell me about her, Lisa said finally. About Sophie. Alex's whole face changed. It was like watching the sun come out from behind clouds. Really? Really, Lisa confirmed. What's she like? And so Alex told her. About Sophie's love of dinosaurs and how she insisted on wearing her dinosaur t-shirt at least 3 times a week. About her gap-toothed smile and how she still couldn't say her R's properly. About her obsession with building things and how their apartment was full of towers made from blocks and boxes and whatever else she could find. She sounds amazing, Lisa said. And she meant it. She is, Alex said proudly. She's the best thing that ever happened to me. Even though the relationship with her mom didn't work out, I can't regret it because it gave me Sophie. What happened? Lisa asked gently. With her mom, I mean, if you don't mind me asking. We were young, Alex said simply. We thought we were ready for marriage and kids, but we weren't. We wanted different things. She wanted to move back to her hometown, be closer to her family. I had just started my career here and didn't want to leave. We tried to make it work, but eventually we had to admit we'd be better as co-parents than as partners. That must have been hard, Lisa said. It was, Alex admitted, but we're in a good place now. We're both committed to making sure Sophie has the best life possible, and honestly, knowing I have Sophie waiting for me at home makes all the other stuff easier to deal with. Like that presentation that got rejected? Yeah, it sucked. But then I went home and Sophie wanted to show me the painting she made at school. And suddenly work stuff didn't seem as important. Lisa smiled. You're a good dad. I try, Alex said. I make mistakes, but I try. And I want you to know that if we keep seeing each other, Sophie is part of that. I'm not looking for someone to be her mom or anything like that. She has a mom, but she is a big part of my life, and anyone who's in my life needs to understand that. I get it, Lisa said. And she did, sort of. The truth was she'd never dated anyone with kids before. She didn't know what that would be like. But she knew she liked Alex. She knew that he was honest and kind and made her laugh. And she knew that running away from something good because it was complicated seemed like a terrible idea. So, Alex said carefully, where does that leave us? 2 months had passed since that first dinner, and Lisa's life had changed in ways she never expected. She and Alex had fallen into an easy rhythm. They'd text throughout the day, have dinner once or twice a week, talk on the phone when Sophie was asleep. But there was one thing they hadn't done yet. Lisa hadn't met Sophie. It wasn't that Alex was hiding her. He'd been very clear that he wanted to introduce them when the time was right. I don't want to bring people in and out of her life, he'd explained. She's been through enough change already, so when I introduce her to someone, I want to be sure. Lisa understood. In fact, She appreciated his caution. It showed he was a good father, that Sophie's well-being came first. But it also made her nervous. What if Sophie didn't like her? What if Lisa wasn't good with kids? She didn't have any younger siblings, no nieces or nephews of her own. The last time she'd really spent time with a child was when she was a kid herself. She was thinking about all of this while working on a logo design when her phone rang. It was Alex, which was unusual. He rarely called during the day. "Hey," she answered. "Everything okay?" "Yeah, sort of," Alex said, and she could hear the stress in his voice. "I have a huge problem. Sophie's mom was supposed to pick her up today, but her flight got canceled because of the storm. She won't be back until tomorrow. And I have this mandatory meeting at work that I absolutely cannot miss. It's about the project that got rejected, actually. They're giving me a second chance to present." "That's great news about the presentation," Lisa said. "It is, but I'm kind of panicking here," Alex admitted. "My usual babysitter is out of town. My sister is in the middle of her own work crisis, and I've called everyone I can think of, but nobody's available. I know this is asking a lot, but is there any chance you could watch Sophie for a few hours? It would just be from 3 to 6. You could come to my place. She's really good at entertaining herself, and I'd owe you big time." Lisa's heart started racing. This was it, the moment she'd been both hoping for and dreading. Meeting Sophie, but not in the casual, planned way she'd imagined. This was being thrown into the deep end. Lisa started, then stopped. She could hear the desperation in Alex's voice. He needed help. And wasn't this what she'd signed up for? Being with someone who had a kid meant being flexible, being there when things got complicated. "Okay," she said. "Yes, I can do that." "Really?" Alex sounded relieved. "Lisa, thank you so much. You're a lifesaver. I'll text you my address, and I'll tell Sophie you're coming. I'll explain that you're my friend and you're going to hang out with her for a bit." "Sounds good," Lisa said, trying to sound more confident than she felt. 3 hours later, Lisa was standing outside Alex's apartment building, holding a bag with some supplies she'd frantically bought at the store. Crayons, coloring books, and some stickers. She had no idea if Sophie liked these things, but it seemed like a safe bet. Alex answered the door with a grateful smile. "You made it. Come in. Come in." He was wearing a suit, which Lisa had never seen before. He looked handsome, but stressed. The apartment was smaller than she'd expected, but cozy. There were toys in a basket near the couch, kids' drawings stuck to the fridge with magnets, and a bookshelf packed with both grown-up books and children's stories. "Sophie," Alex called. "Come meet Lisa." A small girl with dark hair and 2 braids came running from a bedroom. She skidded to a stop when she saw Lisa, suddenly shy. She was wearing the dinosaur shirt Alex had told her about, and she had her father's eyes. "Hi, Sophie," Lisa said, kneeling down to be at her level. "It's nice to meet you. Your dad has told me a lot about you." Sophie looked at her father, then back at Lisa. "Are you Daddy's girlfriend?" Lisa felt her cheeks heat up. Alex looked mortified. "Sophie, we talked about this. Lisa is my friend, and she's going to hang out with you while I'm at my meeting." "But do you kiss?" Sophie asked innocently. "Sophie?" Alex said, clearly embarrassed. But Lisa just laughed. "You know what? I like that you ask questions. That's a good quality to have." Sophie seemed to consider this. Then she noticed the bag Lisa was holding. "What's that?" "Oh, I brought some things," Lisa said, pulling out the coloring books. "I didn't know what you like to do, so I got these. But if you don't like coloring, that's totally okay. We can do whatever you want." Sophie's eyes lit up. "I love coloring. Can we color dinosaurs?" "We can absolutely color dinosaurs," Lisa confirmed. Alex looked at his watch. "Okay, I really need to go. Sophie, you be good for Lisa, okay? And Lisa, seriously, thank you. There's food in the fridge, emergency numbers on the counter, and you can call me anytime." "We'll be fine," Lisa said with more confidence than she felt. "Go nail that presentation." After Alex left, there was a moment of awkward silence. Sophie stood in the middle of the living room, looking at Lisa with curious eyes. "So," Lisa said, "want to show me your favorite dinosaur?" That broke the ice. Sophie ran to her room and came back with an armful of plastic dinosaurs. For the next 20 minutes, Lisa learned more about dinosaurs than she'd ever known. Sophie explained the difference between a T-Rex and an Allosaurus, showed her the Triceratops family she'd created, and informed her that the Brachiosaurus was the tallest dinosaur but not the longest. "You know a lot about dinosaurs," Lisa said, genuinely impressed. "They're the best," Sophie said matter-of-factly. "Do you like dinosaurs?" "I do now," Lisa said. "Especially this one." She picked up a small stegosaurus. "What's his name?" "That's Spike," Sophie said. "He's friendly, but he gets scared sometimes." "Yeah," Lisa said. "What scares him?" "New things," Sophie said. "Like when my mom and dad stopped living together, Spike was really scared. But Daddy said it's okay to be scared of new things. It just means you're brave when you do them anyway." Lisa felt a lump in her throat. This 6-year-old was teaching her life lessons. "Your dad is really smart." "I know," Sophie said. Then she looked at Lisa carefully. "Are you scared of me?" Lisa blinked. "What? No, of course not." "You look scared," Sophie observed. "Like Spike when he meets new dinosaurs. Kids were too perceptive sometimes." "You know what? I am a little bit nervous," Lisa admitted. "But not scared. I just want you to like me." Sophie thought about this. "Do you make my daddy happy?" "I hope so," Lisa said honestly. "He makes me happy." "Then I like you," Sophie decided simply. "Can we color now?" They spent the next hour coloring. Sophie was surprisingly good at staying inside the lines, and she had strong opinions about which colors each dinosaur should be. "T-Rex should be red and black because he's scary," she explained, "but Brachiosaurus should be blue and green because he eats plants and plants are those colors." Around 5 o'clock, Sophie announced she was hungry. Lisa went to the kitchen and found some chicken nuggets in the freezer and apple slices in the fridge. Not the most nutritious meal, but it would do. While Sophie ate, she asked Lisa questions. Where did she live? Did she have any pets? What was her favorite color? Did she like pizza? Each question was delivered with complete seriousness, like Sophie was conducting an interview. "Can I ask you a question now?" Lisa said. "Okay," Sophie said through a mouthful of chicken nugget. "What do you think about your dad having friends? Like me?" Sophie swallowed and considered the question. "My teacher says it's good to have friends. She says friends make life better." "That's true," Lisa agreed. "My daddy was sad for a while," Sophie said quietly. "After Mommy moved out. He tried to hide it, but I could tell. But now he smiles more. Is that because of you?" Lisa felt her heart squeeze. "Maybe partly, but I think it's because he has you. He talks about you all the time, you know. He's so proud of you." Sophie beamed. "He's the best daddy in the whole world." "I believe it," Lisa said. After dinner, they colored some more, and then Sophie wanted to show Lisa her block tower. It was impressive, almost as tall as Sophie herself, made from different colored blocks arranged in a complex pattern. "This is my castle," Sophie explained. "And this is where the princess lives. But she's not a regular princess. She's a dinosaur princess." "Of course," Lisa said, "the best kind." They were adding more blocks to the tower when Alex came home. He looked tired but happy, his tie loosened and his jacket slung over his shoulder. "Daddy," Sophie ran to hug him. "Hey, princess," Alex said, scooping her up. "Were you good for Lisa?" "She's the best," Sophie declared. "She knows about dinosaurs and she can color really good and she didn't burn the chicken nuggets." "High praise," Alex said, grinning at Lisa over Sophie's head. "How'd the presentation go?" Lisa asked. "Really well," Alex said, setting Sophie down. "I think they're actually going to approve it this time, but I want to hear about you two. Did you have fun?" "So much fun," Sophie said. "Can Lisa come back again?" "Maybe," Alex said carefully. "If she wants to." "I'd love to," Lisa said, and she meant it. After Sophie went to get ready for bed, Alex walked Lisa to the door. "Thank you," he said quietly. "Really, you saved me today." "She's amazing, Alex," Lisa said. You've done such a good job with her. She liked you, Alex said. I could tell. She doesn't warm up to people that easily, but with you, it was like you'd known each other forever. She made it easy, Lisa said. She's honest and funny and so smart. I see a lot of you in her. Alex pulled her into a hug. I was so nervous about you two meeting. I wanted it to be perfect, and instead it was rushed and chaotic. It was perfect because it was real, Lisa said into his shoulder. No pressure, no expectations. Just me and Sophie getting to know each other. When Lisa got home that night, she felt different. Lighter somehow. Meeting Sophie had been scary, but it had also been wonderful. She'd spent 3 hours with a 6-year-old and hadn't wanted it to end. Her phone buzzed with a text from Alex. Sophie wants me to tell you that Spike says thank you for being brave today. Lisa smiled and typed back, tell Spike he's welcome. And tell Sophie she's pretty brave too. Will do. And Lisa, thank you. For everything. Anytime, Lisa replied. And she meant it. She was in this now. Really in this. It wasn't just about her and Alex anymore. It was about Sophie too. And the family they were all becoming together. And that didn't scare her as much as she thought it would. In fact, it felt exactly right. Things were good for a while. Really good. Lisa started spending more time at Alex's place, and Sophie seemed genuinely happy to see her. They'd color together, build block towers, and sometimes Sophie would request that Lisa read her bedtime stories. But not everything was smooth. Lisa was learning that dating someone with a kid meant dealing with complications she'd never considered before. Like the time she and Alex had planned a nice dinner date, and Sophie came down with the flu. Alex had to cancel at the last minute, and while Lisa understood, she couldn't help feeling disappointed. Or when Sophie had a meltdown one evening because she wanted her mom,